Nothing feels as good as praise. When you feel valued and someone tells you how good you are, you think it motivates you to do the things you love. But in reality, it causes you to lose your entire drive. When we do something we enjoy, we do it out of intrinsic motivation. That motivation comes from within ourselves. But if we keep getting a reward for it, whether it's praise, money, or recognition, extrinsic motivation from outside is added. When this happens again and again, we start linking the reward to the action. We no longer do it because it's fun, that would be intrinsic motivation, but because we want the reward afterward, the motivation becomes completely extrinsic. This also means that as soon as the reward disappears, we lose all motivation. We no longer enjoy the activity itself, only the reward we used to get from it. To prevent this, you need to do 3 things. First, separate the feedback phases clearly from the actual work process. Second, shift your reward focus to effort rather than results. Third, define your own standards instead of relying on external measures like grades, money, or status. This way, you keep control over why you act and prevent your drive from fading when external rewards disappear. No matter how disciplined, competent, or smart you are, you will never achieve anything, and the reason is simple. The program of your brain doesn't let you. Every one of us carries an identity, an internal program that shapes who we are and how we behave. Think of it like a computer's operating system, directing our actions through a set of deeply ingrained instructions. These instructions are built from what others have told us, our personal experiences, and the beliefs we've formed. When a part of this internal program convinces you that you can't do something, your brain will do everything to turn it into reality. The problem is that most people aren't even aware this program exists, and what doesn't exist can't be changed. The smartest and most talented person in the world, if burdened with a negative self-image and a limiting program, will always achieve less than a so-called failure whose program tells them the best. Because it also works the opposite way. If your program tells you you are the best, your brain will do everything to turn it into reality. The good news is, you can rewrite your program to force yourself to achieve everything you want. The reason you are overwhelmed by your emotions and why you can't control them is way more simple than you think. You just can't name them accurately. It's called emotional granularity. The more accurately you can name the emotion you're feeling, the better you can control it. The main driver behind emotions is the amygdala. Whether it's negative emotions like fear or positive ones like love, activity happens there. The amygdala's counterpart is the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for logic, complex thinking and rationality, exactly what we need when our emotions spiral out of control. Neuroscience shows that when you clearly and precisely label your emotions, you activate the prefrontal cortex and reduce activity in the amygdala. That's how you regain control over your feelings. If emotions remain vague and undefined, your brain interprets that uncertainty as a threat, triggering more anxiety and confusion. Precise labels, however, create safety, turning threats into manageable data. For you, this means learning vocabulary just like in school. Get familiar with your feelings, observe them closely, learn to describe them exactly, and you unlock the ability to control your emotions instead of being controlled by them.